So welcome to our edible books party. Thank you to everybody who baked or built or otherwise made one of these fancy books. We had close to 30 entries overall, but I think we've had a couple late entrants also. We're maybe up to, how many are we up to, Nick?
Looks like 28.
28. All right, we're up to 28 books. So a lot of people made the books. Not everybody could come tonight, but we're still going to present all of the books. I have to say it's really weird not to be in the house for this event. We'd surely have like this flurry of last minute baking in the kitchen. It's always one of the best parts in a way. So along these lines, if anybody actually did make a book last minute that you want to present, I hope you put your name and your book title in the chat, and we will make sure you have a time to share your book. So in case there's anybody here who doesn't know what we're doing, basically our edible books party allows us to celebrate books, and it allows us to celebrate food, it allows us to celebrate community, and puns. It allows us to celebrate puns. Anyone who wants to make a book can, and normally we'd actually eat them, sometimes at great risk. Sometimes they're quite gross. Tonight we won't be eating these books together, but hopefully some of them have actually been eaten. But we will vote on the books. We'll vote on them together. We hold this event in honor of Blaise Bernstein. Blaise, for those of you who know him, this will be familiar. He was a brilliant student. He was funny. He was warm. He was compassionate. And he was a really, really, really good cook. His Good Earth cake at this event, it was a dirt cake, and it was so realistic that nobody ate it. It was like, I can picture it. It was like a flower pot filled with what looked like dirt. And so he was kind of mad at us because it was apparently very delicious. But Blaise really liked cooking for his friends. And so this event honors that spirit. And so I do want to thank the Bernstein family. I think Gideon is here. I thought I saw Gideon come in. So I just want to say, the Bernsteins have really made it possible for us to carry on this tradition. They helped establish a fund here in Blaise's name that allows us to do food-related events at Writer's House. And this is an event we can do forever. That fund also supports an internship. So the Bernsteins and Blaise have left a real legacy here, and we're just thrilled. So if we were here in person, we'd all be clapping or snapping. So I just want to say thank you to the Bernstein family. And we're really honored that we can have this event. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through a slideshow of the entries, pausing to read any recipes aloud that have been submitted. Thank you to Nick Seymour, who made this slideshow, and to Heidi Kalu, who made most of the book covers. And thank you, of course, to all of the bakers who have baked, otherwise constructed books. When we get to your slide, if you're here, I'll invite you, or I hope you'll invite yourself to speak about your book. You can just read your title. You can read your recipe if you submitted one, or tell us anything you want about the book or its construction or its difficulties. You don't have to say much or anything, but you are also welcome to say much or anything. And for those who have a friend who baked something, Nick will go ahead and read your slide for you. I'm going to share a voting form so that you know. I'm going to share a voting form so that you can vote at the end, but that you know you can keep some notes for yourself and decide what category should win, what book should win what category, so that you know what they are. I'll tell you right now, but I'm also going to share the link. Our categories are punniest, most likely edible, most architectural, most Instagrammable, most literary, most literal, best recipe, most spontaneous, seems last minute would be another way to say it, and the blaziest. And for the blaziest, we mean obviously delicious, completely clever, potentially define any particular category. You might want to think of this as the best book or the book that just needs a prize. We will award a prize to every book that wins a title. Most of the prizes will come directly from Harriet's Bookshop, which is a Black-owned bookstore in Philadelphia. And usually we give out really goofy prizes, but this year we'll ask the winners to pick a title from a list that I'll share. They're all cookbooks or books by people who visited Writer's House this year. So you can pick your book. Have I left anything out? Allie or Nick or Jamie Lee? Oh, yes. The spontaneous entry, there's like most spontaneous. Sophie asks, can we add most spontaneous? There is a category, most spontaneous. So if you have it in you to present a book at the end, put your name in the chat and say that you're going to be presenting a book. Can everybody see the that link for the form? Can everybody access the voting form? I'm going to assume yes.
I can.
You can? Okay, cool. All right, we're going to go. And when we get to your book, you can read the title. Not everybody's here, so we'll wing that part. We'll see who's here.
And I do have notes based on the form, based on who said they were and weren't going to be here. So if I just start going off about your book and you ended up coming, feel free to interrupt me if you did end up coming. But with that, let's get this show on the road. So our first edible book is going to be, once I get to my arrows, is from Olivia Lee, and it is The Bell Jar, based on The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Olivia gives us a very, very cut and dry recipe that is ingredients: cheese, book, jar, and a healthy dose of existential dread. And so you'll notice in the corners of all of these, there is a number. When you're submitting it, if it's helpful for you to have the number, put the number in. If it's not, just put the title. And if Olivia is here, great. If you want to say anything about it, Olivia, feel free to jump on. Or is that our second Olivia? We had our first two entries were both from Olivia. So if Olivia Lee is here, oh, that's fine, Olivia. Well, thanks for coming, and thank you for your entry. So our next entry is also from an Olivia, but it is Olivia Rosenfeld, who I think is here. Would you like to say anything, Olivia?
I didn't want to come up with a pun because the first thing that came to mind was Goodnight Moon, because that was my favorite book when I was little, and I thought it would be cute to recreate. So that's what I did.
Well, it is some gorgeous cake decorating, and thank you. Thank you for that. Next, we have this is from Yiji Kim, who I think isn't here tonight, but it is Dumpling, based on the content of Natalie Tan's book of Luck and Fortune by Roselle Lynn. And Yiji notes in reference to the book that she highly recommends for anyone who likes food and literature. Dumplings were a small part but strong of the book, so they couldn't pass up the opportunity to make them. So Yiji gives us some beautifully pan-fried dumplings. Next, we have To Eat a Mockingbird from Sophie P. Cavalcanti, based on, I think, is Sophie here? No, all right, so the recipe for that is ingredients: 1 mockingbird, maybe replaced by quail, which is, I think, what the image is showing. Carrots, tomatoes, and peas for decoration, salt, pepper, and olive oil for seasoning. Instructions: kill and clean the innocent bird, season to taste, bake at 281 degrees until crisp, and enjoy with crackling bread. That is our 4th entry. And next is 20,000 Leagues Under the Pea from Anika Prakash. Anika, are you here? Maybe. I don't have the list of participants in the meeting in front of me. Well, if Anika's not, it is a beautiful leek soup under a pea. No, unfortunately, no recipe, but because it looks really good. And I also love that it looks like portholes. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I thought that was a very, very clever touch. All right. And next we have our one recipe that did not have an accompanying completion, which as the form said is totally fine. And Samantha DiStefano took the chance to go all out in something that didn't need to be made, because it is quite the construction based on the book Piranesi by Susanna Clark. You can see the image of the construction. It's a base of filled of Swedish fish and seaweed filled jello, topped with a vanilla frosted lemon cake with whipped cream and animal cracker statues. And Samantha gives us a description that I will read, which is: "The beauty of the house is immeasurable, its kindness infinite," quoted from the book. "This edible model of Piranesi's house is out of this world. Take your taste buds on a tour of an infinite labyrinth of flavors, no return to a pre-rational consciousness or ancient Celtic magic ritual necessary. Cut through the clouds that saturate the upper halls to travel from the middle halls, where statues adorn the lemon cake, a flavor redolent of sunshine and happiness, to the tides of the lower hall." So that is the tiramisu take on the home of Piranesi by Samantha DiStefano. Next, we have a series of what I took my own liberty to deem Cyrillic Classic Cupcake Collection, which is a series of 5 cupcakes. And if Brooke, Jane, or Myriad would like to say anything, the next 3 are on the following slide. If someone wants to take the first 2, and just when you're done, I'll switch to the next slide, if we have any of them here. Perhaps. Well, if they are here and want to jump in, I'll just go through. So first we have Anna Carmelina from Leo Tolstoy, which was a cinnamon cardamom cupcake with salted caramel frosting. Next is Hero of Our Time by Mikhail Lemontov, which is a lemon and lavender cupcake with lemon frosting. I love a good lavender dessert. And then the remaining ones are The Bite Before Christmas, which was a peanut butter cupcake with chocolate frosting. Then Creme and Punishment, which is a Boston cream cupcake with cream filling and chocolate frosting, based of course on Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. And lastly, The Seagull, which is a chocolate cake with ganache frosting. And I think a little bit of sea salt on there as well. And so we will go on to that. Next, I know Sophie is here, if you want to take it away.
Yes, okay. So I was reading the picture of Dorian Gray, and I was really enjoying the book, and I realized that there's a fruit called durian, and I had never worked with durian before. I have never tasted a durian before, so I went to my local H Mart and purchased some frozen durian, as is pictured. And then when I was making the sorbet, I opened the durian bag and gagged a lot. And I would like to say, be glad that I didn't make the durian sorbet on a year we are in person, because it smelled great, and it totally wouldn't have stunk up the entire writer's house. I wrote a recipe, which isn't actually a recipe, it is just an additional note. Just wanted to compare the durian sorbet to the actual book. I was unable to escape the stench of durian long after the picture was taken, just as Dorian Gray is unable to escape the putrefaction of his soul. I, like Dorian, wandered my house in terrible regret over what I had done. However, I could not remove the blight from my hands, stained not with blood, but with durian. I was going to get a picture of someone eating the durian sorbet, but I forgot because I was distracted by trying to unsmell it. My brother took a bite. He said it was good.
I've had durian once, but as barbecue, not as a dessert. Well, thank you, Sophie. Next, we have, here's where it gets tricky. We have a video from our very own Jamie Lee Jocelyn and Primo. I gave Primo credit because Primo was who submitted it according to the form. So I'm going to start playing this, and if you guys can't hear the audio, let me know in the chat, and I will quickly remedy that. Unless Jamie Lee, you have anything you want to say to introduce it, or should we just take it away?
I have nothing to say. Please enjoy. Thank you for dealing with the technology, Nick.
Oh, not a problem.
Oh boy, Primo. I'm about to have my favorite snack. Hot dogs that are bite-sized. You want to try one? Pretty good, right? Oh no, I forgot my mustard. I'm gonna go get it, okay? Will you watch my hot dogs that are bite-sized while I'm gone? Yeah? High five. All right. I'll be right back, okay? Don't eat them. Primo, what happened? I got my mustard, and now the hot dogs that are bite-sized are gone. Do you know what happened to them?
I will move on to the next one unless you have any bows you want to take.
I'll just say that the first attempt at that, I was using my coffee table for the hot dogs that are bite-sized, and Primo is such a good boy that he wouldn't eat them off the coffee table. So I have some outtakes of just Primo staring at me like, I can't eat it, I'm not allowed. So what a good boy. He gets the good boy award.
Next, from Aaron Brennan and Sasha Sudesh, we have the Crepes of Wrath. Is Aaron or Sasha here?
Yeah, we're both here. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear me well. We're actually picking up our dinner right now, so we can't have video on, sorry. But yeah, this is our matcha crepe cake. It's a bunch of matcha crepes with red bean frosting in between, and there's the recipe. It looks kind of like a swamp on top. So sorry about that, but it's delicious. And hi, Sophie.
It's a very I'm glad you put in a full recipe because it does look very, very delicious.
Yeah, I will warn you guys, it took us like 7 hours to make, but it tasted very good. It was worth it, yeah.
Good disclaimer. All right, well, thank you both and enjoy your dinner.
Thank you.
And we will go on. So Mira Masadalis submitted something, and they wanted to make sure we put a trigger warning because there is description of butchered meat and the process of that. And on the next page, there are some images of the process of preparing this goat. It's nothing too graphic, but if that is a trigger, I will give anyone a moment. And if you're going through later on the slides, be aware. So I will show the recipe now. And if Mira is here, so this recipe is lamb's head prepared, baked and seasoned with thyme and black pepper, and slow cooked in the oven for a couple of hours, and then pulled by hand. And the recommendation is to eat everything, and because it's all nutritious, all the tongue and the brain and such, and we have a reminder: if you eat meat, make it nose to tail. And I will show now. So last chance. So we have the entire process of the butchered lamb's head, and baked in tin foil and seasoned, cooked very, very well, and then pulled and served with rice and jalapenos and pickled cabbage and lemons. All right, and next we have Hell's Angel hair from Wilton, and I think Wilton's here as well.
I'm here. Yep. So the book is about Hunter S. Thompson finding out about the Hells Angels and like traveling with them. So I made Hells Angel hair because I really like to make pasta. So that's a picture of me making the pasta. And it's really, angel hair is really thin, you know, so you have to really crank it down a lot. There is a lot of lemon zest involved. So if you're not a lemons person, I would not recommend this recipe. So yeah, it's just got some pepper and some lemon. So it's a little spicy because it's Hell's Angels. So yeah, there it is.
Next, we have from our very own Jessica Lowenthal, hot flat and crawdad. If you'd like to speak, Jessica.
Yeah, so the recipe is simple. You make some pancakes, you add a decorative crawdad, and you can use a shrimp if you can't find a crawdad. That's it. It's very simple. I don't recommend it as being particularly edible as a combo, but I'd be willing to try it.
Next, we have pastrami and Swiss in the rye from Rebecca Jung. And this is also 2 slides because it also has a recipe. Is Rebecca here?
Yeah. I guess like I really enjoyed this book in high school, and so I kind of wanted to do like a play on words in it, but I know it's like not completely a pun. But in the book there's a scene where Holden comes back from like a really awful date, and then he goes and gets like a Swiss sandwich. And so I kind of did like something with that where I have like a Swiss sandwich on rye, but with pastrami as well as coleslaw and this sriracha ginger Russian dressing I made. And that was just really fun to make. Yeah.
Next, we have Hamlet from Danielle. And I think Danielle said that she would not be here. So first is a ham omelet, or a hamlet, if you will. Looks very good. Nice big chunks of ham. And Danielle's second is olive twist. Why the image didn't come automatically, based on Dickens's Oliver Twist, and is a helical lemon peel and olive garnish, I suppose, although maybe 4 olives could be a meal in itself. But number 21 is the Communist Manifesto from Ben Perez. I don't think Ben was going to be here either. No. So another very, very meaningfully simple recipe of pesto, sourdough bread, and a burning hatred for the 1%. So that is the Communist Manifesto from Ben. Next, we have Moby Ding Dong from our very own Henry.
To make it, I went to the store and bought some Hostess Ding Dongs and then put a goldfish on top. And yeah, pretty simple.
I think it's inspired, Henry. Don't sell yourself short.
Thanks, Nick.
But so I did Alice's Adventures in Wonder Bread, which is my favorite bread recipe. It's very simple. It's 7 ingredients. The recipes, but I will say I started with read the directions and directly you will be directed in the right direction. And I will leave it at that. Next, we have from Amanda, who is here, such fun sage.
Here is the most incredibly fun sage you will ever encounter. You know, like it cracks jokes. Really the life of the party. It has this little like drink umbrella, which like, I don't know how you can describe fun in an object better than a little mini umbrella for your drink. And yeah, you know, it's just extremely fun. That's all I have to say.
Very, very nice.
Oh, and I have my spontaneous entry.
Sure, yeah, you can go ahead and do that now while we're on you.
This is some ground beef in a bowl. It is Meaty by Samantha Irby. Thank you.
And again, if Allie or Jessica, I haven't been closely watching the chat, so if anybody else has any spontaneous ones at the end, make sure I don't miss those. But next, speaking of Allie, we have Allie's submission.
Hi, everyone. This is actually a collaboration between me and Penelope, and it is much oatmeal about nothing. Penelope didn't make the oatmeal, but she did eat it. She ate it all. There's nothing left. So that's that one. And in the same vein, we do have a spontaneous submission, and it's the sweet paneer after Penelope has eaten part of it. That's based on the sweet hereafter. It's the sweet paneer after Penelope has eaten part of it, and it looks actually like she might eat another part. No, she's not eating any more of it. All right, say hi, Penelope.
Hi, Penelope.
Hi, Penelope.
Oh, wow, everyone.
Hi, Penelope.
Okay. All right, she'll do this forever. So we go to the next one.
All right. Next, we have 2 in a row from Tyler Daniels and Sarah Finkelstein. And I know Tyler's here. Sarah might be here too. Yeah, Sarah and Anna are here. So take it away and let me know, and I'll switch to the next one.
This is actually, we have to give props to Anna, Sarah's twin sister. She gave us the idea, but we executed. But this one was really fun. I don't know, Sarah, do you have any other words?
It was fun and really tasty. This one tasted really good, but the next one doesn't taste really good. If you want to switch to the next one.
To Mary Frankenfurter.
This one's really icky. It's a bunch of sausages put up together to make a Frankenstein.
I think there's like 5 different kinds of sausage that we use.
Love the mustard mouth.
Yeah, and the stitches are sauerkraut.
I think our next one is the last one, which comes to us from Rachel Dennis.
I got really
decorative crawdad, as we now know.
I got really, first of all, I love decorative crawdad, so I renamed myself. I thought that was the funniest thing I've ever I work at the writer's house. I'm a staffer. I've been really stressed because sometimes the events don't get as much entrance as we would like. So I submitted something out of the gut-wrenching fear that nothing would be submitted. And I am proud of it in my own very small way. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive muffin. My roommate made them without a recipe, so it deserves some ado. It was very tasty.
All right, so I believe that is our last slide.
Sophie may have an entry.
I do.
All right, we have a last minute entry from Sophie, a spontaneous entry.
This is the oddest tea, play off of the Odyssey. And it's odd because it's been sitting on my desk for a few hours and is now cold. It was originally mint tea. And another reason it's odd is because it is the second filling of this tea bag. I re-poured water over it. And it has been sitting on my desk for several hours. Occasionally sniff it. It's been on many adventures, just like all those people in the Odyssey going through. And the liquid in the tea is like the water and the oceans they've been traveling through.
Disgusting. There is a spontaneous submission from Mahalia.
Take it away.
This is the invisible pan. What's in it? No one knows. Whatever you want it to be.
Awesome. And there's a spontaneous submission from Anthony.
Yes, hello. I was eating this popcorn and you guys can't actually see it right now, but there's currently a kernel stuck in my tooth. And so it's No One Bites the Kernel off of the Gabriel Garcia Marquez novel, No One Writes the Kernel.
Oh man, I love it. Are there any more spontaneous entries? Nick is going to share the slideshow so that you can cruise through it.
And I think we had 5 or 6 spontaneous ones.
Did
if you
Decorative Crawdad go?
Oh, I had one, Big Fish, the play that's also like 2 books. I had a big bag of haddock. It's the size of my head. Big Fish.
So for all of those last minute entries, if you could direct message me in the Zoom, I will also put those on the last page of this slide in case anyone wants to look there for them as they're voting.
Yeah, so the voting is open. Anybody can vote. Keep in mind those spontaneous entries in our spontaneous category, although a couple of the entries that came in the regular entrance were also somewhat spontaneous, I would say, but we should probably give a tip towards the ones who actually submitted one tonight, which is great. And let's say about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, whip through those slides. I hope everybody will vote. Hello, Jeannie and Gideon. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're going to vote.
Yes, we are voting right now.
Oh, good.
So I just have to type it in. Awesome entry. It's so fun.
Really good.
I mean, it's almost like it's like a tease when you can't like actually see everything like on the table in front of you.
We're so hungry right now.
Yes.
I know, I think we're gonna eat some sausages.
I'm really hungry. I don't know about for hot dogs, but
Yeah, there was some good looking food here and some really terrible looking food. So I'm not sure how I feel. Hallie, are you able to see the chart?
I am in there, or I'm trying to get in there.
Do you know if we're able to actually edit?
Look at the transparency happening here, everyone. With too many windows open.
People, sorry this is so chaotic. Normally, Jamie Lee is in the back doing the same thing. but just
This is radical transparency, everyone.
looks like we've got 2 outstanding votes. Allie and I are quickly converting some numbers.
The username decorative crawdad was available on Instagram, and so I changed my Instagram name for the first time since I made my Instagram when I was in middle school. I'm taking this too far, but I'm really becoming attached. That's why.
I love this.
I think the decorative crawdad is a fine thing to be attached to.
Pretty amazing. It's unsettling, definitely. I'm unsettled.
A great writing prompt could be, let's all write poems/stories titled Decorative Crawdad.
There's just so many avenues you can take with a decorative crawdad. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there.
Could be like a taxidermy situation. Do people taxidermy crawfish?
I'm sure someone does. Someone has.
I had a roommate who kept a basket of dried crabs as decoration. They weren't taxidermy exactly.
Did they smell or
No, they were cleaned and fully dried. But I didn't really think it was the best decor. Maybe at a beach home, but not in a Philly apartment.
Maybe in a beach home.
Okay, Allie, is there a way to sort these by
We have a couple outstanding, it looks like, still, right? Do you see those? Row 13.
we need somebody singing a song or dancing.
Unfortunately, Penelope is done screaming. So, unfortunately for you guys, very fortunately for me. Everyone just give me 2 more seconds for the sorting, and then we'll be in the situation.
Maybe a conversation topic is, what is people's favorite edible book from years past?
Does anyone remember Gum Girl?
That's my Allie's favorites. It might
I
be
wasn't
Allie.
here for that, but I know all about it, which I'm sure is telling enough.
That
It was
one
that Gone Girl?
Blaziest. Yeah.
But it was solely gum in the form of a face of a full head. It was a lot of
human
gum.
size.
It was like this big.
Child
Allison Rick-
size.
Oh my god.
Child size.
That is some dedication.
Was it chewed or fried?
Mostly chewed, if not.
It was all.
I guess it's more pliable that way.
Who was it, Tyler? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Allison Ricks.
Gotcha.
So was that like on a table with actual food? Like just a ball of chewed gum like next to a casserole or
Pre-coronavirus,
something?
you don't get away with that.
It's true. We usually have a subset that is either packaged things or less edible things. We usually put those on sort of a separate area. But yes, it was on a plate on a table with other edible bugs.
There have been some very unedible ones, like ketchup in the pie, which was like a pie crust filled with ketchup, and I am not a fan of ketchup.
I like ketchup, and that sounds terrible.
Yeah. But then actually one year I made scones and I used all like Writer's House ingredients because, you know, that's what the cookie cabinet's for. And I didn't realize that raw cocoa was not chocolate. So my scones just had like cocoa, like very bitter in it. And sorry about that years later.
Somebody did scones last year. They did Game of Scones. I don't think I got one. I think they were all gone by the time I got
I was Junie B scones.
Nice.
I really enjoyed the Telltale Tart. It was very delicious.
I don't know if it was last year or if all of the years are blending together, but somebody did like the Great Pumpkin, and it was this like giant.
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay, that was extremely good.
I think.
Yeah. It was so good that there was another category added for it.
Yeah, it had like fallen apart. I think it must not have had time to cool fully.
That's
so
what happened.
it got a little lopsided, but it was a very delicious cake.
I also think a lot about the bridge to Terabithia, which was like Terra chips, but in a bridge. But it was like very well put together. I think it won most architectural because it was extremely architectural.
All right, we're approaching the end. We're so close. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop everybody from talking. All right,
Okay.
Allie, I think I did it. What do you think?
Yeah, we got it.
There was that one tie and I split it by assigning a different category.
Yeah, I think
All
that
right.
it's right. We did it right.
All right.
Thanks for bearing with
People.
us, everyone.
Yes. Sorry that was so complicated. It seemed like the form would work really well and then it didn't.
Oh, it did. It was fine. We just,
It did. It did. All right. Well, so just to remind everyone, we are going to give out books from Harriet's bookshop. I have a list of books that I'll share with the winners. They are great cookbooks as identified by various websites and also by heart. So you can pick the cookbook that you want. And if you don't see the cookbook you want, we will negotiate. Okay, drum roll. The punniest goes to Hamlet. Hamlet.
Hamlet is our winner.
Nick, who did Hamlet? Will you consult the list?
Yeah, let me pull up the spreadsheet I have. Hamlet, I think that was Danielle. But let me yes, that was Daniel Cohn.
All right. Congratulations. Most likely edible, Hell's Angel Hair. Hell's Angel Hair. Woo!
Very tasty.
Wilton. All right.
Congrats.
Most architectural. All Quiet on the Western Bunch. Yay! Tyler and Sarah.
Extremely delicious. It looks so good. It looks better than several of the Bake Off fonts I have seen, which have been repulsive seeming.
Yes, and several people did name it as most likely edible. Most Instagrammable. This was a knock it out of the park winner. There was no one close. Good night, mooncake. Yes. Good night, mooncake.
And that was Olivia.
Olivia. Oh, most literary. I forgot to highlight one. Allie, help me out.
So for most literary, as we said, we would consider various hierarchies. It was the cerulean cupcakes, I think, as a set, really collected the most votes. They all looked very delicious and also like really dense reading that you can use as a prop on the new hit HBO show, The Flight Attendant, which I strongly recommend if anyone is looking for something to watch. Anyway, Crime and Punishment. Yes, so Cyrillic classic cupcakes, that definitely, they look delicious.
Awesome. And for those who submitted a cake or a product by more than one person, you each get a cookbook. You don't have to share. Everybody gets a cookbook. Best recipe. Oh, I'm sorry, most literal. Most literal. This was also pretty much knock it out of the park. To eat a mockingbird.
That was Sophie. Is that Sophie Cavalcanti?
Yes, extremely literal.
Other Sophie, yes. Best recipe as written. This one, it was neck and neck on a couple of them. I was close. I was in there. I had one vote. But the winner, Tiramisu.
From Samantha to Stefano.
Good job. Most spontaneous. We have 2 winners, I believe.
Okay, yes, sorry.
3 winners. I'm confused. What happened here?
2 winners. Wait a second.
No, I'd highlighted a different one. This one.
Suspense.
Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 votes for it.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh. There are
You
these other.
highlighted the other, somehow the other one got highlighted. I don't know.
Oh, okay. This is just internet shenanigans. The winner by a long shot is Moby Ding Dong.
This is most spontaneous. Really brilliant work. Really in the spirit of the category.
Yes. And
Also 2 of my favorite snacks.
And the blaziest, by which we mean obviously delicious, completely clever, defying any category, and we might add in this case, completely ambitious. It took them 7 hours. Come on. Crepes of Wrath. So
Crepes of Wrath, very great.
So everybody, thank you. Thank you for joining us for our edible books party. This was completely amazing. Thank you, Jeannie and Gideon, for supporting this and other projects at Writer's House. Thank you, Jamie Lee, for giving Primo the hot dogs. Thank you, Nick, for running that crazy slideshow, for making it. And thank you to all of the people who made books during what is a really hard time. I'm really glad you took this hour with us. We can think about each other. We can think about frivolous things. We can be together. We can remember loved ones. It feels really good. So thank you.
Think about crawdads.
Poor crawdads.
So it's so good. Jessica, I think, you know, in your heart, you can award yourself with a runner-up for best meme resulting from an edible book.
You inspired someone's Instagram handle, which, you know, that shows you're really hip with the times.
Yeah.
Decorative crawdad.
Really cool, Jessica.
It's like how the people who get 5th on American Idol do really well. That's decorative crawdads. Like, you're gonna have a great career ahead of you on Broadway. It's
Well,
fine.
I couldn't ask for anything more. Is there anybody who wants to say anything before we say goodbye?
I gotta go break it to Penelope that she didn't win anything, so thanks everyone.
Primo's filing a lawsuit, so just expect that.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Hilarious.
Thank you. Also, thank you to Sophie. We had a couple other people who helped with the planning of this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you for everybody for submitting.
And
This
for the
was
graphic
great.
design again, Heidi. Thanks everybody.
And to all winners, I will send a link with a list of any book you can choose. And if you don't see the book you want, just let me know. And Allie and I will consult with you about how to get you that book. It'll be coming from Harriet's bookstore. We're really happy to support them. They're a great shop.
It'll be delivered directly to your home.
Yes. All righty.
All right. Bye everyone.
Have a
Thanks,
good night.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.